Okay, so today we're going to talk about multiplying decimals by whole numbers. This will be page 20 in your notes. Yes, you need to write this down in your journal. Yes, you need to finish this video all the way to the end so that Edpuzzle knows that you're done with it. Okay? All right, so number one, it says start by lining up the factors and ignore the decimal. So if I have the number 54 and 5/10, I'm gonna write it like I'm multiplying 54 times 5. So I'm going to totally ignore the decimal. After I've written my problem, then I'm going to line up the places, then place the decimal. So after we've lined up the numbers, we're going to place that decimal in the same spot it was. So 5.4, the decimal is going to go between the 5 and the 4. All right. After that, solve the problem like you would any multiplication problem. Ignore the decimal till you get your answer. So 5 times 4 is 20, 5 times 5 is 25, plus 2 is 27. So then we need to look at, there's one place behind the decimal. There's one number behind that decimal in the problem. So there will be one place behind the decimal in the answer. So my answer will be 27.0, so 27. Okay, so it could be 27.0 or 27. Either one of those answers is correct. Okay, so since there is one place behind the decimal in the problem, there will be one place behind the decimal in the answer. It goes in the exact same spot. Okay, so let's do some practice problems. All right, so if I have the number, let's say 2 4/10 times 6, I'm going to write 24 times 6. Then I'm going to place my decimal in the correct spot. And then I'm going to multiply. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 2 is 14. Okay, and then I'm going to move my decimal. So there is one number behind the decimal here. So I'm going to understand that the decimal, if there's not one, it's at the end. So I'm going to move it one place over. And my answer is 14 4/10. Okay. So what if I have 34 hundredths times 11? I'm going to do it the same way. 33 times 11 is how I'm going to write it. After I've written my problem, then I'm going to go back. Oh, sorry. Goodness gracious. 34 times 11. Then I'm going to go back and put my decimal where it was in my original problem. And then I'm going to solve. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 3 is 3. Nothing. We don't need to mark out anything we carried. We're going to mark out the ones place. And we're going to bring down the 0. Same with multiplication with whole numbers. Then I'm going to multiply 1 times 4, and that's 4. 1 times 3 is 3, and then we add. I'm doing the same thing that we've done when we did whole number multiplication. I didn't change anything. Now, I'm going to look at my problem. Here's my problem, and there are 2 decimal spaces in my problem. So in my answer, I need to have 2 decimal spaces. So that decimal is going to go between the 3 and the 7. Okay, let's do another one. Let's do 63 times 9/10. So I flipped it. I put the decimal second. So I'm going to write 63 times 9. Okay, so you're going to multiply 9 times 3. Oh, wait, I got to go back and I'm going to put my decimal now. I'm sorry. Okay, so I wrote my number, 63 times 9. Then I added my decimal. Now I'm going to multiply 9 times 3, which is 27. And then you're going to multiply 9 times 6, which is 54, plus this 2. So that's 56. Now, I've got my answer, and now I have to add my decimal. So here's my decimal with one number behind it. So in my answer, I'm going to put the decimal between the 6 and the 7. So there is one number behind my answer. Okay, so I'm not doing anything except putting a decimal. We have done multiplication before. So let's do a 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication and another one. So let's do 5 4/10 times 21. So I'm going to write 54 times 21. And then I'm going to go back and put the decimal in. Multiply as normal. 1 times 4. 1 times 5. Nothing to tick because we didn't carry anything. Tack. I'm going to mark out the ones place because I'm done multiplying it. Oh, because now I'm multiplying by the tens place. Now, 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 5 is 10. And then we add 4. 8 plus 5. Carry my 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. And bring down the 1. So, don't put a comma because we can't put a comma until after we've put our decimal. Okay, so here I have the decimal is right here between the 5 and the 4. There is one number behind that decimal. So in my answer, I need to have one number behind the decimal. So the decimal is going to go between the 3 and the 4, which means now it's 113 4/10, and no comma is needed. Okay, so it is multiplication is normal. You're going to write the number as you would. You're going to then place the decimal where it was in the original problem, in that factor. Multiply like normal, and however many places you need in your, however many places you have in your problem, that's how many you have in your answer. Okay, it's all about placement of the decimal. Okay, we do have a Zoom at 9 o'clock, so if you can make it, please come because we need to go over some things to make sure that everybody understands, because next week we will be moving into division. So I encourage you to come and ask your questions.